Hey guys, Sandy here, and I have a fun layout. Well, I hope it's going to be a fun layout. I'm going to be scrapbooking about family pizza night. Now, my husband makes his own pizza sauce, and it is tremendous, and the pizza combinations he comes up with is simply amazing. So I want to document that. I've pulled out some Paper House products. Some, as you can see, I've already used a little bit of, but I have a bunch of stuff here, and then also some stuff from my stash. So let's see what I can do. Now, this might be a pretty weird reason to do this, but it is why I did it. My cutting board kind of looks like this paper that I have in the background. Not this striped paper, but the one behind it. The cutting board almost matches it perfectly. And I had this weird idea of making this layout feel like it was on a cutting board. I don't know. Ultimately, the layout does not feel like it's on a cutting board. However, I'm still ridiculously happy with the results, and I guess that's all that matters, right? So sometimes the original ideas that you have in your head don't really come to fruition to what that idea was, but it still turns out. So this definitely doesn't look like a layout on a cutting board whatsoever. But like I said, I'm happy with it. So I am going to treat this line where the diagonals come together as a kind of like a grounding point. This is where everything is going to be based off of my layout. And I am going to do that in a couple different ways. I'm going to have some long horizontal strips, and then my photo is also going to overlap that point. Now, I did think multiple times about adding a banner underneath of my horizontal lines, and I think it's still, I still totally think it would have worked if I would have done it. It would have brought more orange down to the bottom of the layout, because I definitely added a bunch of orange in this layout. But like I said, I'm completely happy with my layout. I think sometimes when we look at our layouts and we say, oh, I could have done that, or oh, I could have done that, don't take that as this layout isn't good enough. Take that as your mind is still being creative and you're thinking up new ways to do the same thing for other layouts. So don't look at it as, oh man, I screwed this up because I didn't think of that idea and I didn't do it on this page. No, your mind, you created something that your mind is looking at and you're still creating off of it. How awesome is that? I totally get it. It is completely amazing to look at a layout and go, yeah, that's perfect. But it's also completely amazing to look at a layout and your brain just start firing on all cylinders, because it's inspired you so much creativity. You just want to you just want to make and make and make. That feeling is so good, you guys. So, so good. So while I was on my soapbox a little bit here, the only thing I'm doing is fussy cutting out these flowers, and my tips for fussy cutting stay the same. I still have to make that video for fussy cutting. I actually got a message a little bit ago that was like, where's your fussy cutting video? I just haven't done it. And honestly, it's because of vanity right now. I look a hot mess, you guys. My allergies are kicking so hard. They haven't kicked like this since I was a small child, taking allergy shots 3 times a week. So I don't know what's going on this year, but oh my word, the eyes are puffy, the eyes are black, the eyes are watery, and the nose and the sinus, and oh my heavens. So yeah, that's why. And I say that because I want my fussy cutting video, it's got to kind of be face-to-face, because I want you to see the body mechanics of fussy cutting. And I know that sounds over the top, but that's the way it is. So I have finished cutting out this floral, and I know it's going to kind of wrap around the pizza. And it's just a matter of figuring out where exactly it's going to wrap around. Is it going to be the left side or the right side? And I do pick the left side of the pizza. Now, I don't know why. Yes, I do. I know exactly why. So these birds kind of look like denim. And I don't know why like I chose to do birds, except I have had this denim tape in my stash for a very long time, and I wanted to use it. And you barely see any of it now once I completely finish the layout, but I love it. Like this layout, it's one of those layouts that you complete and you're like, and then you're like, oh, yes, and I could do that next time, and I could do that next time. Oh, I should do that next time. And like I said, those kind of layouts make me happy. So here is some cork tape that has also been in my stash for a little while. It has the same kind of arrow type design to it that the paper does. So I just made sure to make those arrows point in the same direction as the paper. I didn't want it to be competing directions. So I wanted your eye to be able to follow one continuous line. Now, before I start talking more and more about what I'm doing here, I'm just making some layers here on this join point. Make sure that you click the link down below for Paper House Productions. So they are having a serious dollar sale. A lot of stickers and embellishments are on sale for $1 right now. And you can use my code PH20Sandy, and that's going to get you 20% off. So stuff that is on sale for $1, you're going to get for 80 cents. So holy moly, you guys. Now is the time to take advantage of the sale. Paper House has some awesome stuff in there. This is the one big happy family kit that I am scrapbooking with. Now I'm pretty sure that the kit is not on the sale because it is not on, it is not a sticker, but there it is. And the sale goes until May 17th, so you got a little bit of time to get your shopping done. Now for this, I am using this cut apart sheet, and I almost went with the blue, but then I decided no, I have very small amounts of pink on this layout, and I need to bring a little bit more in. So this is a cut apart sheet, and it's supposed to, you know, be cute with a grandchild's hug, last long after they go home or something like that. But what I do is I treat them as 4x6 photo mats, and I just trim 1/4 inch off either side of my photos, and then I go ahead and use that as a photo mat. And that way I have the complete color of the kit, or what I'm working with, like this complete color scheme, and I don't have to worry about it whatsoever. I am using some fun foam to pop this photo up, and it's just a matter of figuring out where exactly I want the photo to go. And it's going to go over here on the right hand side of the page. And this is what happens, you guys. This is what happens to my ATG, and it only happens to the red ATG. It never happens to the pink. Like, for some reason, it gets kind of jammed up, and I've got to fix it. And I decided to leave this in here because I keep getting like awesome suggestions for my ATG, like your tape's on backwards, all kinds of things. But I'm telling you guys, like the tape is not on backwards. The tape is not wound incorrectly in the roll. It is the way it's supposed to be, but this still just happens. And then I decided to leave this in here in case this happens to you and you feel like you just gotta like throw the whole roll of tape away, or you know, you rip it in half and try to rewind it. Like, it can be rewound on the spool just the way it is. So we finally get that going, and I'm going to go ahead and drop some adhesive on these flowers as well. And I decide to make the flowers go behind the photo and on top of the photo. And that's just to give it like a little bit of dimension and a little bit of movement on the page. I grabbed the little bird because this is the whole thing, the denim bird, and he's going to layer on top of the flower. And I just grabbed a foam square to place him on top of so that he can kind of pop up a little bit, even more from what I have the photo going on. So now I'm looking at the sticker sheet, and I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do. And I have enough orange in this, the florals that are cut out, that I feel like I need to add a little bit of orange to the page. And then I know what my title is going to be. It is going to be Family Pizza Night. And I am using a combo of things to get that title. I've got these flat cork looking letter stickers that came on the sheet. I'm going to be pulling in some gold stickers that I had from my stash. And then I'm also going to use that family word from the sticker sheet. And I'm working the words backwards because I know where I want the word to hit at the end. So I know where I want the word to end. So that is the best tip I can give you. If you know where you want your word to start, do the first letter of the word. If you know where you want your word to end, do the last letter of the word. That way you can just make it happen that way. Of course, you can do things like use the thicker aligners or a piece of wax paper or anything like that, but I feel like that's just one more step that I really don't need in my life, and I like my scrapbooking to be quick and easy and fun. So there we go. Now I am going to bring in this puffy camera, and it does have orange in it, and it's not the exact shade of orange that is throughout the layout, but it's close enough. It gives a good enough match to me, so that makes me happy. I'm going to pull out these little arrow things to repeat the whole pointy arrow thing that I have going over to the left with the pattern paper and also the cork. And I'm only going to put 3 of them on there instead of 4. And that's just because I like the way it looks better with an odd amount as opposed to an even amount. And I'm just straightening those up a little bit. I grabbed the word awesome, and it has an arrow facing the opposite direction. So I just snip that bad boy off, like make it work for you. So, you know, you could look at that word awesome and be like, oh, the arrow's not pointing the right direction. I can't use it on the page. I got to figure something else out to go in that space. No, you don't. Snip off the arrow, make your supplies work for you. Now, it's not an awful lot of fun when you constantly have to rework every single supply that you're working with because it isn't your style or it really isn't your thing, but you bought it and you need to use it, or maybe you got it in a kit, or maybe, you know, you just have to use that. So that's not always fun when you have to rework your supplies. But just a little thing like here and there, just make them work. Like, don't not use your good stuff because something is just ever so slightly off with it. So there we go. Wow, I think I've done like 2 soapbox rants on this video, you guys. Now I am taking my sticker sheet and I am pulling off the florals and the hearts and just really embellishing now. That's all I'm doing. I do have a lot of flat embellishments on this page, but I also have some things that give it texture. So I have the cork, I have the denim, I have the puffy stickers, I have things up on pop dots. So it isn't completely flat, even though most of my embellishing is done with flat stickers. Whew, I hope that's not an awkward cutoff point, you guys, but I just had a little sneeze fest and you guys don't need to hear that. You know, most of the time my voiceovers are done in one take, but seriously, the sneeze and the snotting, you guys really didn't need to hear that. So now I am just taking these stickers and I'm kind of playing around with them just to figure out where I want them to be tucked, where I want them to cover up things or whatever. And I like what I did over here on this night sticker. So I have one of the flowers tucked under the N and one of the flowers layered on top of the N. So again, even though a lot of my embellishing is flat, you're getting like this perceived depth of the page. So I decided to go ahead and grab the other bird, which is also kind of a denim feel. It's just a lighter bit of denim. And I'm going to use some fun foam to pop him up because otherwise if I put him straight down where I wanted to put him right here, what's going to happen is he's going to kind of lay from the photo down to the flat background paper. And even though that's exactly what I made happen with my big fussy cut florals, it is not what I want it to happen with the bird. I just felt that would be a little awkward. So I end up with 2 birdhouses on a layout about pizza as well. Go figure. I tucked the little pink and orange one over by Family Pizza Night, and I feel that that just fills in that space. because it did feel like there was still a little bit of an awkward gap over here. And then I put the blue birdhouse over here on the right side of my photo. I overlap some of the orange floral, so I'm still bringing in that orange color, which is why I originally put the pink and orange birdhouse over there, was because I felt like this left-hand side of the page had a whole heck of a lot of orange, but the right-hand side of the page did not have hardly any at all. So I'm going to go ahead and glue down that bird now, and then I realized that I put my fun foam a little bit too far over for Mr. Bird, and then he was kind of leaning up on the pizza instead of falling down onto the background, and I just trimmed that up to give him a little bit of stickiness. Now, I do believe that is going to do it for this layout. I do go ahead and just add the date, which is April 24th, 2019. I don't have a lot of journaling about this layout. I have journaled extensively about the pizza sauce and creations that my husband has made before, so I didn't feel like I needed to wax poetic one more time. Make sure you check out the link down below. Go get yourself some stuff on sale, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.